in the big picture, the historical perspective of consultation, you know, everyone knows the story of the West. People moved onto our lands without any regard for our people, our rights, our traditions. Jalal Khwiti, hello everyone. Bud Lane Wa'am Nashi. My name is Bud Lane, and I'm a member of the Confederate Tribes of Siletz Indians, and I'm a council member, serves on the Siletz Tribal Council. I have served for 26 years on the council, and for most of those years served as vice chairman. Our people along the Rogue River and in southwestern Oregon fought a really ugly war called the Rogue River Indian Wars in the 1850s, which resulted in a series of 8 treaties, all of which removed people from their lands forcibly to what is now known as the Siletz Reservation in the 1850s. And of course, during a war, there isn't any consultation. The reservation was reduced almost from the time before the ink was dry on our treaties. And with the Termination Act, our remaining lands were liquidated and sold. And, you know, the tribe began to drift. But in those days, there was no discussion about what you were going to do. These things were just implemented and joined the body of what is known as just Indian policy, and a lot of it bad, most of it bad. So, you know, our elders, and I was a teenager back then during Restoration time, you know, I always thought it was like a dream that we would actually get a congressional act passed and become federally recognized again. And it happened. They made it happen. Our chairman, Dolores Pigsley, I think there's 3 people left alive from those tribal councils, and we owe them a great deal of gratitude for the work that they did.
Yes, my name is Dolores Pigsley. I'm the tribal chairman for the Confederated Tribes of Siletz. I've served on the council about 42 years. I've served as tribal chairman for the last 36 years. And so it's been a long and interesting period of time for me and for our tribe. Our tribe was terminated in the 50s and restored in the 70s, and I was lucky, I guess, to be on that restoration council back in the day. And since restoration, we started out with 800 members, enrolled members, initially in 1979, I believe, is when the enrollment was approved. And since then, we're up to 5,500 plus members. We've asked to be consulted on issues that affect us. That doesn't always happen, but the state of Oregon has made sure it happens now by law. And that's been working. And so that consultation's been stepped up tremendously because we can do it by Zoom. And so we have had a lot of contact with the state and with the feds on issues that would have been nice back in the day to have those discussions and those contacts. But I think we've shown in our history that we've become good partners with federal and state agencies, work very well with the governor's office and our congressional delegation.
But in Oregon, we're lucky that those relationships are fostered by the Legislative Commission on Indian Services, which was established under Oregon statute, and by successive governors who have would listen to us. And We have had a great relationship with the current governor. So, to me, consultation is much more than just someone having a policy or a project or something that they want to do, and they've already laid the plans out and they're coming to you and want you to rubber stamp it for them. Real consultation means you're at the offing, at the beginning of this discussion, and you can influence things, maybe if you're in favor of it in a good way, and if not, let your thoughts be known and your feelings. We always have sometimes differing views on land issues or water issues, hunting and fishing issues, those types of things. But we always have a government-to-government relationship with those tribes to sit down and to talk about things.
We've shown that our interests as a tribe are the same interests that the state of Oregon has. It's just that we are compelled to protect our future and our tribal members, and to raise happy, healthy individuals. And so we've grown by exercising our sovereignty. We can tax, we can make laws, we have our own tribal court. And so those are near and dear to us. And so when we are asked about issues or a law or something that's going to affect the tribe, it could affect us in many, many ways, just like it does ordinary citizens in Oregon or the nation. So we appreciate the opportunity to talk with individuals, with agencies. We've had a great relationship with the governor in the state of Oregon. And Oregon is one of the few states that have a commission on Indian service, legislative commission on Indian services, which I serve on. And so that organization has been extremely helpful in many of the issues that come before Oregon citizens and go through the commission and funnel to the tribes. And so it's been a good opportunity to get information early before laws get established. So it's very helpful to have these consultations.
We look 7 generations down the road. It's not just what's happening in my lifetime. We all have kids and grandkids in our people, and we're just the latest link in that chain of humanity that is moving forward. We educate our young people so they're armed to live in both worlds, in that world of our ancestors and those traditions, but also in the new world in this time. So.